So I was just standing in the shop looking at this water technique, and I drew a couple lines on there. I'm going to paint them in and see what they look like. I don't exactly know how I'm actually going to do it yet, but I'm going to give it a shot, see what's there. Now I'll be using classic navy blue water base, and as always we put our brushes in water before we start painting and shake the can. Try never to leave your brush sitting in water because it'll bend the hairs on the brush and you will not be able to get it out. You'll ruin the brush. So I was in a class once, and if the teacher caught you with leaving your brush like this and you walked away, see how those bristles are bending? He would come by and snap the handle in half on your brush. So try not to do that. It is an extremely bad habit, and it will ruin your brushes, and it will cost you in the long run. So palette this up, and then go over here, let that set for a second. Water in my brush there. So that's going to change our design a little. And we might just leave that wispy like that. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. In fact, I might take a paper towel and wipe some of that back off. So I had some people come in and I had to stop, but this is what I've done so far, and I'll show you how I created the dark blue panel on the left hand side of this. I believe this was going to go up here, like so, drop down here, so. Take this piece of, this is actually kind of a piece of I don't know, tissue or something. It's not a paper towel, although a paper towel would definitely work. And we just wipe it through, like so. Get it up on the edge to do this. Okay. Same thing here. You can do different things if you want. You could take this and do spin marks. Whatever you want. Don't be afraid to try things. You can try a triangle, whatever it is, whatever you want to do. This will be your project. Okay, now we're going to take this over to the table and we're going to spray water on it. Okay, so here we are now at the table. And this is a glass plus bottle, and all we're going to, it just has water in it. And we're just going to lightly spray on top of this, and it will give us this muted effect that's going on here. Now the one thing you have to remember is you can't control what it does. There's a couple of things that you could do, but it's very minimal what you actually can do. Like you could stand this up and let the water run towards the bottom, but you end up with sections like this that are running down, also running onto your paper. Now this pattern right here was done just by dragging my finger up here, and when it dried, that's what it looked like. Now you could take your finger and run more designs down in here, do something tribal, sky's the limit. But the most important thing is to have fun, and you can add other colors, whatever it is that you want to do, don't be afraid to do it. And being abstract, you could do lettering over this. You can, like I said, you can add more colors. You can, whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, you might see something here with a wave and want to cut it into the shape of a surfboard or a skateboard or whatever. But let the artwork carry you through to where it's designing itself, basically. As I watch it and I learn from how the paint is flowing and moving, my next step will be based on that. And you know what? I may not see what I want to do for maybe a day or two, because I let the artwork teach me what it wants. And if you do want clean spots, don't be afraid to go in, take a paper towel, you know, make it, for this particular move right here, it needs to be pretty narrow. So just go in, set it down, and wipe it off. Okay, now I'll put some more water on just to see what it does. I'm going to try and keep it in this little section right here. Okay, you can see how that's changing a little bit. You can make that as bright and colorful as you want. You can start putting in new colors right now, introducing like reds and yellows and greens and different color blues. But every time you put water on these, it'll make a burn spot. And by a burn spot, I mean these little white spots right here. This one was still a little wet, but it's still changing its look as things go. There's a nice little burn spot right here. And if you notice, it wasn't running exactly the way I wanted it to, so I just took my brush, put it under the edge on that side, and just a little piece of, this is actually the other half of it, took this little piece of wood, slid it underneath, and that changed the angle of it because it wasn't quite flat. And that worked well. And you can actually tip it if you want to, a little higher or a little lower, whatever it is you want, or the flow you're looking for. That's the most important part of this. Now I have a lot of water on this particular section right here, so this is something that you can do also. You pick it up, and you can, because that's the only section that's really still wet, see, I can control the way it's going to run, and I can get all kinds of cool effects that way. And don't be afraid to like stick your finger in it, move it around, get it loose again. But you can see that changed the whole concept of what's going on inside this. And then let it dry. It's going to continue to change until it dries. So let's say you saw this spot right here and you didn't like it. It was starting to fill in. Well, it's hard to take a paper towel and crush it up enough so you can see to get in there. So the best thing to do is just take a wet paintbrush and just go in, and it'll pick it up and you can go right to a fine point. And you can actually change the course, you can do whatever you want, but that is a cool way to pick up the excess. Have a nice straight line or a crooked line or whatever it is that you're looking to achieve. And you may have to do it more than once, but it will work.
And that is how this technique is done. So when you're ready, create your own project. Do artwork similar to this or create a brand new project and share it with us so that we can all grow together as hand letterers and artists. I look forward to seeing your video responses. Put your response right to this video, and I can't wait to see the incredible projects that everybody comes up with.